We're continuing reading from the best book to have ever been written throughout human history, throughout the history of the earth, and maybe throughout the history of all time. But I think that may not be true, because there may be some books written in heaven by God and Jesus and the angels, or some other books that are in heaven. And when Jesus comes down for the second coming after the tribulation, this difficult stuff is going to happen on earth, and it's scary. And after that, Jesus is going to come down and reign as king on earth for 1,000 years with whoever is really, really good, or does not sin that much. Bring people down from heaven. It'll be like heaven on earth. It'll be pretty amazing. And this is the first time he came to earth, and he had to suffer and die on the cross for our sins. So this is the New Testament. It says LSM version at the bottom. This says the recovery version. We're reading from Matthew. It's the Bible starts with Matthew chapter 20. Oop. Here it is. No, yeah. Matthew chapter 20. We're continuing with chapter 20, verse 17, on the way to Jerusalem. Jesus is going to Jerusalem, and he prophesies that he'd die on the cross and rise again. So he had to do it in Jerusalem, where they would kill prophets and stuff. The third unveiling of the crucifixion of the resurrection. And as Jesus was going up to Jerusalem, the third unveiling of the crucifixion and resurrection. Oh, when he's crucified and rises. He already announced it twice before, apparently. Not announced, I didn't get the exact words of the Bible right. The Bible is really good. I'm just a flawed man. He prophesied it or said it in some way without doing all those S's that the devil tries to trick people into saying, so that they say the number of the beast. Because he's bad. There may be bad people trying to trick me into doing mean things or wrong things, because they have the wrong idea about how to live. They might not want me to read this book right now. They don't want to hear about good. So let's read it. You got to be kind to them and forgive them of their sin, forgive them of their trespasses against you. That's what this book's about. Okay. And as Jesus was going up to Jerusalem, he took the 12 disciples aside privately, and on the way he said to them, "Behold, we are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be delivered to the chief priests and scribes, and they will condemn him to death and deliver him to the Gentiles to mock and discourage and crucify him." This is so horrible, and what they're going to do. "And on the third day he will be raised." What they did before 2,000 years ago. He already suffered through it. Now he's okay. And now our sins are forgiven when we get into heaven. And then he showed us how to live according to this Bible. He came down to earth to show us the throne of the kingdom and the cup of the cross. Then the mother of the sons of Zebedee came to him with her sons, worshiping and asking something of him. And he said to her, "What do you want?" She said to him, "Say that these 2 sons of mine will sit, one on your right and one on your left, in your kingdom in heaven." But Jesus answered and said to them, "You do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink the cup which I am about to drink?" They said to him, "We are able." He said to them, "My cup you shall indeed drink, but to sit on my right and my left in heaven," he's talking about, "this is not mine to give, but it is for those for whom it has been planned and prepared by my Father, by God." And when the 10 heard this, they were indignant concerning the 2 brothers. They wanted to do something. They looked down, kind of mean, not really mean, but they looked down on him. The disciples looked down on the two brothers. But Jesus called them to him and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over or on them, and the great exercise authority over them. It shall not be so among you, but whoever wants to become great among you shall be your servant." This is how it is, how people get into heaven. By being a servant on earth. "And whoever wants to be first among you shall be your slave. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many." So we'd be saved. The healing of the two blind men. And as they were going out from Jericho, a great crowd followed him. And behold, two blind men sitting by the road, hearing that Jesus was passing by, cried out, saying, "Have mercy on us, Lord, Son of David." And the crowd rebuked them so they would be silent. But they cried out the more, saying, "Have mercy on us, Lord, Son of David." And Jesus, standing still, called to them and said, what do you want me to do for you?" They said to him, and he said it in a way. Jesus, standing still, called them and said, "What do you want me to do for you?" They said to him, "Lord, that our eyes may be opened." And Jesus, moved with compassion, touched their eyes, and immediately they received their sight and followed him. He would get people to follow him back then, and they'd give away their belongings, and they'd get to go to heaven for all eternity when they were good and they didn't sin. And they got to follow the most amazing person to have ever lived who didn't sin on earth. Heck is on my hand. Is that heck happened to my hand? Scratched it. Oh no. Okay, we're going to start the next video with chapter 21.